Alrighty. Hey everyone. Thank you for joining us on absolutely no notice. Tonight I'm joined with my friend Derek, and we are going to teach Derek how to play Star Wars Legion. So Derek has decided to be the peacekeeper of the galaxy while I am throwing in with the dirty terrorists. I think we're both in agreement on who the good guys are here.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start kind of with the very beginning. So in Legion, in general, we're going to be playing a set of missions, deployments, and battlefield conditions. So there's a really great part of the game, which we're not going to do tonight in the learning scenario, but I'm kind of thinking as I walk through the game. So with that in mind, our goal tonight is going to be to just kill each other. But in the broader sense of the game, it's always to focus on the objectives, which I think is really neat. It's not just a line up and kill each other kind of game. So to that end, let's take a look at the anatomy of a card. Take a look at your stormtroopers. You've got both snowtroopers and stormtroopers. I did that so you could get a nice little, little taste of everything. So you're going to see a number of things, and we're going to skip the army building portion of the game, but kind of in the top left in the black, you can see their unit cost.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'm going to pull my card out so I can more adequately point that for you. But then we're going to get into the stuff that matters to you. All right. So right down here, that's their unarmed dice. This is per dude. So they attack with a black die in melee, which is pretty decent, just so you know. Red dice are by far the best, followed by black dice, followed by white dice. White dice have very few hits on them. Black is about 50-50. Red is only one blank. So just in general, red dice are really good. Then if you keep going over, that's going to be their ranged attack. You can see the Rebels have the A280 blaster. You have the E11. That little symbol is range, so you range 1 to 3. Let me show you range. Now's a great opportunity to show how range and how movement and stuff works as we move that way. So these are range bands, little range rulers, right? So this is range 3. When we are measuring range, you are going to measure from your unit leader to my dudes, right? And if they're in range 3, you got a shot. If not, you don't.
From the unit leader?
From the unit leader.
Okay.
Yeah. You measure range from the unit leader to whomever you can see. So if you've moved some dudes ahead farther than your unit leader and I can see them, I can shoot you, but you can't shoot me. So in general, I kind of keep my unit leader up front. It's pretty safe in this game. It's not like a lot of other miniature games where you can snipe out the unit leader. He can die, but it's in very, very rare circumstances, which will probably not come up anytime soon. Oh, hey Bruno, what's up, guys? This is just a nice learning game tonight, so bear with us, and feel free to correct me if I get anything wrong here. I'm trying to remember the very basics and go over them correctly. Okay, so you can see right off the bat, if we compare my rebel troopers to your stormtroopers, your guys are rolling white dice on the hit, but my guys are rolling black dice. So true to Imperial doctrine, your guys suck at shooting. My guys are pretty good. But there's a couple of things that are going to modify that. As we move up, first of all, just to note, those two little red pips right there, that's their speed. We're going to come back to movement, but there are essentially 3 speeds in movement. 1, 2, and 3. Your dudes are going to move with the 2. Okay. They can go slower than that, but the fastest they can go is a 2. We're going to come back to movement. So moving up there, you've got what are called surges. So that symbol right there is on all of the attack dice. Every attack dice has 1. And that surge means if you have a surge ability, then it turns into whatever it shows. So for stormtroopers, a surge becomes a hit.
Okay.
So quickly, kind of peeling back, into some of the complexity, the white die by default has 2 hits on it. Stormtroopers with a surge have that, so they effectively have 3 out of 8 times they hit with a white die. Versus the naked black die is 50% of the time has a hit. Right. So it's with the surge, it's almost as good as the black die. Rebels, you will note, do not have a surge on offense. There are 2 different kinds of surges. So now we're going to talk about defense dice.
Okay.
There are 2 colors of defense dice. Just like the other ones, white are garbage, because you're looking for shield symbols. The white defense die only has a single shield, but it also has 1 surge. See the defensive surge versus the offensive surge?
Right.
So, rebel troopers defend with a white die, but surge defensively, which means I get 2 faces on the d6 to save when I get hit, Whereas stormtroopers don't have a defensive surge, but they have a red die, giving them, with their armor bonus, 3 saves. So you can see the slight differences there. We're really closer than it looks because of the surge abilities.
Right.
I shoot a little better than you, but I die a lot easier than you. Right? Okay. Moving on up, that's where you're going to see the color defense dice right there. You've got a red defense die.
Right.
That little yellow symbol right there, that is your morale, which we're going to talk about in a little bit once we kind of really get into shooting. And then the number above that is your health per model. So every time you take a wound, a dude dies. And you, the defender, plucks him off the table. The squad leader has to be the last guy to die. So you have a heavy weapon upgrade, which is this dude. He can choose to roll those dice,
right?
But he also can roll that die profile, which is much better. Range 1 to 4 and 2 red dice. So that DLT, what we've been calling the Dakin lettuce tomato, the Dakin lettuce tomato is a fantastic weapon because of its range.
So the squad leader literally can't die till the end?
He's the very last dude to die.
Okay.
Which is why I say there's like a rare circumstance where if you can't see him, but you can see everyone else, or you can only see him, but not everyone else, you could, in theory, kill him. I don't even know what happens when that happens because it's never come up for us.
Fair enough.
Okay, so those are kind of the basic stats of the cards. Now would be a pretty good time to just compare your units a little bit. So if we look at Darth Vader, right? He is a monster, as he should be.
Good God.
So you can see his melee attack is 6 red dice, and we're going to go ahead and read through his abilities, but we'll come back to those. So deflect, it means while defending, if you spend a dodge, which we're going to talk about the dodge action, but you essentially get a token that you can spend. If you spend the dodge, you gain surge into defense. See, by default, he doesn't have that surge, but if he spends the dodge, he gains it. Then, if it's a ranged attack, the attacker suffers 1 wound for each surge that you roll. So that's him just blasting the bolts back, right?
Right.
He's immune to Pierce, which we're going to talk about Pierce soon. He also has Master of the Force 1. Some Force ability cards have to be exhausted. Normally it takes a whole action to ready all your exhausted cards. He doesn't have any in this list, but later on that's a really good strategy with Vader to get something that allows him to do a thing like Force Choke. You exhaust it to kill a dude, and then it would ready. And then he also has Relentless, which you're going to see a theme here with him and the Stormtroopers. Essentially, after you perform your move action, you may perform a free attack action. Now, normally, you only get to do 2 actions on a turn. Free or not, you can only do 1 attack action.
Right. If
something says do a free attack, that doesn't count. But if it says free attack action, a unit can only do 1 attack action on a turn, period. So Vader can essentially move again, then attack.
Right.
And you can see that we've upgraded him with his saber throw. And that means it's an action. Choose one of your melee weapons. Perform a ranged attack with that weapon against an enemy unit at range 1 to 2. You use half your dice, so he walks up and chucks his saber at it. But you can see that combos with this. He can move twice and then throw his lightsaber, which gives him a little bit more threat range. Because he's slow. You can see he moves only 1.
He's plodding along a little bit.
He's plodding along. You can also see that he has a dash for morale. That means he cannot take what are called suppression tokens. We're going to talk about panic in a little while, but a unit who's within 3 of a unit leader uses their unit leader's morale instead of their own to see if they panic, which means as long as there's a trooper unit of yours within 3 of Darth Vader, they literally cannot panic and leave the board. Which makes sense, right? Yeah. He would not be pleased with that.
If they're going to die either way.
That's right. All right, so moving on to your snow troopers. These guys are interesting. They've got steady, which is honestly a lot like Vader's thing. After they move, they can perform a free attack action. So they can just move up, but they're also slow.
Right.
See, they've got that speed 1. They have 2 upgrades. 1 just gave them an extra dude in the unit to absorb some hits. And they also have a flamethrower. Now that flamethrower has 2 attributes for it. First of all, it's range 1, which is obviously extremely short range.
Right.
But it's got blast, which means it ignores cover. And while it's in a dice pool, everything has that attribute. So if you chuck all the dice together, you'd add up all the 5 white dice and the 1 black die, the whole unit has blast, which means you're just, my cover doesn't matter.
Okay.
But the thing that makes it really great is it has spray. The number of black dice you roll is equal to the number of models in the unit. So if you come up on a 5-man rebel unit, you're rolling 5 black dice plus the rest of your white dice with that flamethrower. Just
Just go into town.
Yeah. So, So we'll talk some more about attacks in just a second.
Okay.
Your stormtroopers, they are more like a base of fire, and I tend to use these two in conjunction as like a hammer and an anvil. Because these guys almost have the opposite. They have precise one.
Mm-hmm.
That means if you do the aim action and spend an aim, which normally lets you reroll 2 dice, they get to reroll an extra. So if they aim and then shoot, aiming is an action,
right,
then they can reroll 3 dice. And if you recall, they're rolling pretty crummy dice.
Right.
So that again closes that gap on shooting. If they stay still and fire, it's stormtrooper precision. But they're also a lot faster than those other guys, so they can kind of get into places better.
Mm-hmm.
One more thing, the Dakin Lettuce Tomato has impact 1, as does Vader have impact 3.
Okay.
Impact is required to hurt armor. I have 1 unit with armor. Regular hits, he completely ignores. Only crits hurt him.
Okay.
So every die has a hit, or a number of hits, and then 1 crit. Crits punch armor. Regular hits do not. After you roll, if you have remaining hits, after cover and all that stuff's been applied for, which we're going to talk about, you then can change a number of regular hits to crits equal to your impact value if you're shooting at a unit that has armor.
Okay.
So you can see Vader walking up and chucking that lightsaber is a great tactic to take that thing down. But also that Dakin Lettuce Tomato is pretty good.
Right.
Now, when you shoot, you can split up your fire, but all of the same weapon have to fire at the same unit. So what I mean by that is you couldn't do with these guys 2 E11s, 2 E11s, and the DLT.
Right.
Like on different targets. You could say all of the E11s are firing there, and the Dakin Lettuce Tomato is firing there. Make sense?
You're killing me. Yeah.
I know. It's so good. All right. Finally, your speeders.
Mm-hmm.
Your speeders are really interesting. They've got both defensive and offensive surges. They've got Speeder 1, which means they just fly right over all of this terrain. We literally, at the start of the game, look at cover to see what its height is, and that's... Terrain's height is 1.
Right.
So the Speeder, with Speeder 1, means he flies over all things of height 1. So you can just fly right over that building.
Okay.
I'm not even going to cover the rules of like climbing up buildings because it comes up so rarely.
Right.
So you can see that they, first of all, have a blaster pistol, a little holdout pistol that's range 1 to 2 with 360, so they can shoot behind them.
Mm-hmm.
But they also have their fixed front little cannon, which is red, black, white per dude. So you're chucking 2 red, 2 black, 2 white when they shoot.
Wait, why is it 2?
Because you have two guys in the unit.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So they're a little weird in that they operate as a unit.
Okay.
And so when they take damage, you can see that their health is 3.
Mm-hmm.
When they take damage, you put it on the non-leader first, and it like stacks up, and then he dies, and
Okay.
then the leader takes it.
Right.
Fixed front means it has to fire out of that front arc. You can see all those kind of arcs that I've left visible in the base.
Mm-hmm.
Little 90-degree arc out front. It has to fire out of that arc. He's got some other attributes as we get into moving. So now's as good a time as any to talk about moving. Here is the way it works. So when you activate a unit, first of all, they get to do 2 actions. And there's a number of actions. I think there might even be a reference card. Let me take a quick second, see if I have a reference card.
Right.
Oh, nice. You painting? Bruno, what are you painting, my man? I got to start on my snow troopers. I think I might have a reference card.
Are you counting these as sand troopers? They've got khaki on.
Yeah. I decided, I know they're technically snow troopers. For me, they're like hostile environment troopers.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it was going to make my brain explode.
Yeah.
Because I just couldn't deal with it. Couldn't deal with like, snow troopers being in the desert or whatever, or on the plains. All right, I don't have a quick reference of all the actions, so I'm going to try to rattle them all off to you real quick.
Okay.
And especially the ones that are going to matter for tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Move. Obviously, you perform a move, which we're about to talk about. Shoot, which we're going to cover. Dodge means you get a dodge token. Aim, which means you get an aim token. Recover, which means you ready all of your exhausted cards. None of us have any exhaustible cards tonight, but it also lets you get rid of all of your suppression, which we're going to talk about in a second.
Okay.
And oh gosh, what am I forgetting? There's another one called Standby, which is sort of like an Overwatch. You say like, hey, I'm going to watch this area, and if someone moves into my sight, I'm going to shoot at them. We're going to leave that one alone for tonight. It's just easier to do so. So we're gonna skip that one.
So all of those things affect all of these?
Every single one of those guys can do any of those maneuvers.
I would love to see a speeder bike dodge.
Oh man, they're just zipping. Even this guy can dodge. I think it's more like he's bracing for impact or something, right? It's like a defensive maneuver. Or he's like Chicken Walker, like dancing up and down. All right, so let's cover movement first and foremost.
All right.
So you activate orange group, and we're going to talk about how activations go kind of last. But essentially, you'll say, okay, I drew this from my bag. I got a troop. I can choose either one of my troops. I'm going to go with orange. So I'm activating these bad boys, and I want to try to move them up to that barricade. So what you do is you say, all right, I'm definitely going to move. And so this you use with just the unit leader. The rest of the guys don't really matter. So you can actually move them out of the way. And you can say, all right, I'm going to use this. I'm going to put this right up next to my unit leader. So it kind of locks in place. Mm-hmm. And then you can kind of say, okay, I'm going to go, he's going to go right there. And the way terrain works is if your unit leader is touching the terrain, then your guys ignore it for shooting. But you get the benefit of it.
Right.
So he's touching that. You say, all right, cool. I'm going to take this. You now just pick up these guys and put them anywhere so long as they aren't further away than the distance of the one-speed maneuver template. You just pick them up and move them. Kind of wherever you want to go. All right, so that was a move. You got your boys up into cover. Now they're in hard cover, which they're going to get benefits from, as they get shot at. Now Vader, obviously, moves speed 1, so a little easier. Right?
Do they always come in from wherever you have them out here?
We're going to deploy at speed 1, or at distance 1. We're going to alternate deployments. Which, again, the mission frequently dictates that. You might have different deployment zones and everything, but for tonight's learning game, we're just going to line up and kill each other. It's just the easiest to get the mechanics down.
Yeah.
Now, these guys operate a little similarly, but a little bit differently. So their speed is 3, and this is the guy who's your commander.
Okay.
So you take this, and you slot that in, and then you can kind of go, wherever he's going to go. We're going to say, okay, what? He's going to fly. He's going to go this way. He's going to hook around a little bit. And you put him there. Mm-hmm. And now, similarly, you get to pick this guy up and put him anywhere within command distance, but he has to be facing the exact same direction as him. So he can't be like this.
Right.
He's got to face the exact same. That's pretty much it for movement. Now, quick little rule. If you are moving through difficult terrain, like let's say now you're like, you know what, I want to get over this thing.
Right.
Your speed drops by 1 for your troops. Your speeder and my walker ignore the barricades. So next time if you wanted to move him, you just use the 1. You can hover it like this. So he would go like this. Right. Now, no action. You can't do any actions twice in one turn other than move. Right. You can move twice.
But there's only one attack action.
There's only one attack action. Really, you can only dodge once. But a lot of things give you dodge tokens. If you can get a dodge token from something else and do the dodge action, you can stack them up. Same with aim. That won't really matter tonight, but like General Veers is another commander. He can give out aim tokens.
Okay.
So he could give you an aim token, and then you could also be like, cool, now I'm also going to aim and then fire. I could spend both of my aim tokens to reroll a boatload of dice.
Right.
That's pretty much it for movement. Any questions about movement so far?
No, that makes sense.
Cool. There is one final caveat that I forgot about. These guys are a speeder, which means they have a compulsive move. The moment you activate them, they have to move their full speed.
Okay.
So they can't just hover somewhere and shoot.
Right.
So they have to move their full speed 3 right off the bat, which is sometimes a blessing and sometimes a curse. The chief screw up I see with everyone who first starts the game and you quickly learn it, don't fly them out ahead of your whole army. Right. They'll get cut to pieces.
Right.
This game is very lethal. Things die fast. So part of it is coming to terms with that. In other war games, it's like, man, gotta be conservative. In this one, it's like, yeah, you're losing squads on turn 2.
Okay.
So be ready for death. For death and carnage. All right, let's talk about some shooting now. Yeah, Bruno, I just got my fleet troopers, and I got Leia priming right now. Alrighty, so you know what? We went through all of your guys. Let me tell you all of my dudes, so you can start to form kind of your plan on what you're going to be facing here.
Okay.
So I've got one rebel squad that is completely under strength. They're just 4 dudes, no heavy weapon at all. These guys actually can lay down a pretty sick amount of fire. So they have the rotary gun, just the straight up. it rolls 6 white dice. Now, I don't surge on white dice, so that's a 1 in 4 chance of each white die of getting a hit, but that can still, it can swing wildly. There are times that Rebels, you're like, wow, I got 8 hits. And there are times you're like, cool, I got 0 hits. So they are very swingy. Unlike your Dakin lettuce tomato with the red die, which is very, like you're almost always going to get 2 hits or come very close. My troopers die a little easier than yours, but they have a special ability, whereas your guys have that aim that mitigates their crappy shooting. My guys have an ability called Nimble, which mitigates their dying, which is if I get a dodge token and then you shoot at me and I spin that dodge token, when you're done shooting at me, I get that dodge token back until the end of the round. At the end of the round, all those tokens come up, which we'll talk about what happens at the end of the round. So I've got these 3 units, and these 2 are both big, because they've got extra dudes, and they have concussion grenades. So if they get it close, they're range 1, they can toss grenades that ignore cover.
Okay.
So the 2 big ones have that. They're identical. Then I have the small little dinky squad. Luke is good. He's not as good as Vader, but he does have some command cards, which are pretty nasty. When I get out my command cards, I'll get them out. And we'll look through your command cards too. His command cards make him pretty nasty. Otherwise, he's kind of worse than Vader in a lot of ways. He is faster. He's speed 2. And he can jump over terrain. He's got that force jump. So he's faster. Doesn't hit quite as hard, but still hits pretty damn hard. He also has a pistol he can switch to. He can use his saber or his pistol.
Oh, okay.
It's Empire Strikes Back, Luke. Right?
The good one.
Yeah, the good one. And then this ATRT, it can spit some fire. It's also got a rotary cannon. It's got a rotary cannon, and for some reason he has concussion grenades, which doesn't make sense. That should be on the other guy. He's got a rotary cannon. He rolls the worst defense die in the game because he's got a white defense die, no surges, but he has armor. So you've got to punch it. As long as you can get crits on him, he will die. He'll die a lot easier than you kind of think at first. So that's the Rebel list. In general, they are very shooty. You outrange me. Those guys have range 4 compared to my range 3.
Right.
Your stormtroopers or your snowtroopers are range 3, but if they get into range 1, then they got that nasty flamethrower hit. And remember, your speed drops by 1 going over terrain, but to a minimum of 1. So snowtroopers effectively are like, I don't care.
Right.
I go wherever I want. I never slow down, and they get to move and shoot. So they could move, shoot for free.
Where's the range on the card?
Down on the bottom.
Oh, right, the numbers here. So, okay.
So let's do a couple examples of shooting.
Okay.
So here's what we're going to do. I've got a unit who is dumbly kind of running out in the open. And we're like, all right, get to that cover, boys. And then it's Derek's activation, and oh, crap. Oh, he drew the troops. Which means you're going to say, yep, Orange Squad is about to shoot at you.
Yes.
So what you are going to do, you are going to add up all of their dice and declare where their shots are going. Actually, you've got 2 actions. So first you're going to say, yeah, you know what? I'm going to aim and shoot.
Yes.
So you aim, put the aim token right behind him.
Okay.
And then you shoot. So to shoot, you are going to collect all your dice. If you want to split your fire, you declare it now. Or for right now, we're going to lump it all into one big die pool. But there are a lot of benefits to splitting your fire, which I think that'll come in time as you play. You learn about dishing out suppression. So we're going to play through a full round here.
Okay.
You know what? Let's use a full strength rebel unit. So we're dumbly just running. We're running for it. For the rebellion. And then you say, cool, I'm going to light you up. Yep. So, collect your white dice. You've got 4 dudes who don't have the heavy weapon. 4 dudes with E11. So 4 white dice and 2 red dice. Now, this attack is not modified by cover. I'm in the wide open.
Right.
And you've got me basically dead to rights. So you're going to roll them right in here. Okay, pretty good. So you got 4. You can kind of push those off to the side. And then you say, hey, I also have an aim token. Let's pretend you missed 3, right? But I have an aim token. So I'm going to spin that aim token. So you just take it off the board. And you now get to re-roll, normally 2, but you're precise, so you get to re-roll an extra 1. Okay. So you get to re-roll those 3 dice. Okay, yep.
It turned out well.
White dice. We're going to pretend that you actually ate me up pretty good. We're going to pretend you rolled this, okay?
Okay.
So after rolling, we now apply cover. I have no cover. We now apply dodges. I didn't have a dodge on me because I ran up like a fool. Now you surge. So you apply all of your surge effects. And oh my god, you hit me for 5. I took 5 hits right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I now have to take that many defense dice. Okay. Rebels are a white defense die with surges. And they're going to roll d4s. And I saved 1. And then after surges, I saved 2. So of your 5 hits, I lose 3 guys. They can be anyone but the commander. And obviously, I want to keep my Z6 alive.
Right.
So I do this. 3 dudes die. Just off the board. And now we get into, in my opinion, what is the most important part of the game. Suppression. Anytime you take a hit and you are a trooper unit, you take a point of suppression. When I start my turn, so we're going to now pretend, oh, look at that. Oh, thankfully, I drew my troop unit, so I'm going to go with these guys now. It's now my turn. The first thing I get to do is try to rally. For each suppression token on you, you get to roll a white die to try to shed a suppression. So I'm going to roll my 1 white defense die, and I got something. If it comes up with any ink, I get to get rid of that many suppressions. So if you had 3 suppression on me, I'm just rolling 3 white dice. I got 1, so 1 comes off. Okay, now, remember that morale stat? If you have suppression equal to your morale stat, you are suppressed, and you get 1 less action.
Okay.
So right now, both of our morale stat is 1, so we're pretty easy to suppress. So, yeah, I got 1 action right now. That sucks. My dudes only get to do 1 thing instead of 2 things.
Right.
If, however, you have double your suppression status, you are panicked. If you have 2 after you roll to rally to try to get them off, you don't even get to activate the unit. You instead do a speed 2 move towards the closest board edge. They're just like, I'm out. I'm done. I'm out. But when you're checking panic, if you are within 3 of your leader, you can use his morale rating instead.
Right.
So Luke's morale rating is 3, which means his panic limit is 6. So you would have to get 6 points of suppression on these guys to make it run. They're scared shitless, but they look back, see Luke, and are like, okay, cool. Which is nice, like I was saying, your guys can never run if they are within 3 of Vader.
Right. And on a board like this, they're most
on
likely
a board
not
like
get
this,
out
they're
of
gonna be pretty good. But so what does matter though is you just hurt my action economy. I start my turn with 1 point of suppression. Cool. I mean, nothing I can do about it. I could spend a whole action recovering. If I recover, it's my 1 action, but I get to get rid of all of my suppression. But
You're still out.
I decide, you know what? I'm gonna go for it here. I'm just gonna shoot you. I'm just gonna shoot at you. So now I'm adding up my dice. The Rebels A280 are 2 black dice, but that Z6, that wonderful fickle mistress of the Z6, is 6 white dice, which is either awesome or garbage. So I'm shooting back at you, but you're in heavy cover there. That's heavy cover. This is light cover.
Okay.
Heavy cover gets rid of 2 points, 2 hits. Light cover gets rid of 1. Suppression, if you have any number of suppression tokens on you, you add 1 to your cover level. So even me in the open right now, I have light cover now. Because we're just, we're hitting the dirt.
Right.
Alright, so here we go. I'm shooting back. Okay, not a great shot. I don't surge offensively. So I, shooting you back, got 2 hits. Now, cover, then you are in heavy cover, so you eliminate 2 hits, but cover cannot eliminate crits.
Great.
So, you got 1 on me, or you blocked 1, and now you're making a save. So roll me a red die. Oh, that's a dead stormtrooper.
Right.
Pull 1 off the board there.
Did.
Alright, and then we're going to pretend the round has ended. At the end of the round, all unspent tokens come up, and every trooper gets to remove 1 suppression. So we're now here. My boys are in a pretty good spot here. So now, we're going to roll a red die to see who goes first. Normally that's dictated by command cards. I'll tell you about that.
Okay.
If I get a shield, I'm going to go first. Anything else, like the surge or the blanks, you go first.
Okay.
Ah, yeah, we get to go first. So here's what we're going to do. These rebel troopers like, okay, we're not suppressed. We want to do something here. We're going to do a speed 1 move, because remember, going over terrain is slower. We're going to hop into this heavy cover. He's touching it, so I get the benefit of it, but not the drawback. Now, if I were here, and I shot you and your guys were here, we would both technically be in heavy cover because we're drawing across it. You have to be touching it to be like shooting over
Right.
it, so not suffering the effect of it. So we're going to be right there, and on my turn, I'm going to shoot you now. Definitely in range. My unit leader is within 3 of your guy. I've got 2 black dice and that lovely Mistress Z6. 6 white dice shooting at you. So, I got 2 regular hits, which then get eaten by your cover.
Right.
However, if I have a hit after rolling, you're going to get a suppression. Whether you spend a dodge, whether you're in cover. So I did technically score hits on you, just enough to be like, boop, 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 so your guys are ducking. So now your turn to shoot me back.
Okay.
The activation step is rally is first. So for each suppression, roll a white defense die, which is just the cube. They don't recover.
Okay.
So you get 1 action.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna shoot.
Yeah, shoot me back. One more round of shooting.
So that's
Trying to illustrate how much heavy cover can save your butt.
and it's equal to the number of people I have.
Yep. And your gunner gets the extra gun. He's
So
always
it's-
the extra dice, yep.
So
He
it's-
can always choose to shoot the other die as well. He
Mhm.
like the base die.
Right.
But there's no reason to most of the time.
Okay.
So yep, you're 3 guys alive. Okay. Not great, but not horrible. So you surge into 2 hits,
Right.
which my cover eats, but then I get suppressed.
Right.
So you see the difference in how survivable you are in cover.
Right.
It's a game of hopping from cover to cover.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. So now let's illustrate another example, and then we can pretty much get rolling.
All right.
My ATRT is chilling out right here. Your speeders are right here, and you decide I'm gonna go kill that ATRT as best I can.
Yep.
So you draw the speeder activation, and you're coming for me. So the first thing you have to do is a compulsory move. That doesn't count against you for your actions. You still get 2 actions after that.
Okay.
Which does mean you could compulsory move. So those things can just across the board.
Right.
Or you can compulsory move, aim, fire, compulsory move, dodge, fire. You could compulsory move, fire, move.
Right.
To get the heck out of an arc or something.
Right.
So see if you can take this guy down.
Okay.
You do have impact 1,
Mhm.
which means you've got 2 models, which means 2 of your regular hits are going to turn into crits on him.
Okay. Right. And this is the commander, right?
That is the commander, right?
Does it matter if this one ends up in front or
Nope,
no?
you can put him anywhere, so long as he still has a shot.
All right.
And then you're going to check your range, which you clearly have. You're going to check your
I
arc.
don't know if I do.
Yeah, you're going to check your arc.
Right.
Handy dandy laser pointer for that. He's clearly in your arcs.
Yep. What
The
about?
vehicles, ignore this.
Okay. Even
Especially for the learning game. Now, what I wouldn't ignore
Mhm.
is this. If I were here,
right.
I would get heavy cover from this, but so would you. And then if I were touching this,
Mhm.
I would get heavy cover. You wouldn't. Because again, I'm touching it with my unit leader, so I'm like, I get to ignore it when I touch it.
But
As
short
long
cover
as-
like this, vehicles just shoot over.
Yeah, specifically, if the cover does not come to half their height, then it doesn't provide them anything.
Okay.
He also ignores it for movement. They just walk right over it. So we're here,
Mhm.
okay, and you just here. We'll even let me have a shot back at you. So I'm there,
Mhm.
and you have 2 actions now.
So I'm gonna fire and then move again.
Go fire then move. I love it.
All right. So that's.
My kind of scum, fearless and inventive.
And I'm gonna go home and watch Star Wars now.
I know. This definitely makes me want to watch Rogue One all the time.
Oh, yeah.
While painting, I'm watching Rogue One. You can see these are fairly Rogue One inspired. A little less blue than Rogue One had. I went with World War II colors for the most part.
They're screaming Endor at me right now.
Yeah, they do look indoors.
Oh, that's not great.
That's awful, in fact.
Yeah, that's real bad.
If only you would have aimed, you could re-roll your dice. But you didn't. So you surge. Those
Mhm.
guys surge both offensively and defensively into 2 hits.
Okay.
Then, after that, you have impact 1 per dude,
Right.
which gives you a total impact 2, which does mean these 2 turn into crits.
Okay.
So, not horrible. Now this guy rolls the worst defense die in the game. Trying to get in the habit of rolling in here. And he saves none. So he takes 2 damage.
That's real bad.
And then you could move again. Let's just pretend you don't, though. Let me shoot back at you to illustrate another point in that you're a speeder, which means you carry cover with you. You always are in light cover. So I'm going to shoot you back.
Okay.
This guy's a rotary blaster. He chucks 5 black dice. And he's like, you know what? I hate speeders. I'm going to aim, and then I'm going to fire. If you know you're going to aim and fire, we usually don't put the token down.
Fair enough.
So I'm aiming and firing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really nasty hit, and here's why. The ATRT, while it sucks defensively, it's an offensive wrecking ball.
Mm-hmm.
It surges into crits.
Oof.
So here's what happens.
Well, at least one of them is dead.
Well, we'll see. So I got 5 total hits. 4
Right.
of them are crits. Now, speeders always have cover 1.
All right.
So right off the bat, you get rid of 1. You're now rolling 4 defense dice.
And that's...
They are a white defense die.
Wait.
But they do surge defensively. So essentially there's 1 in 3 chance per die. You saved 1, which
Right.
means you take 3 damage, which is enough to... So now he's dead.
Right.
So now let's go ahead and see if you can take him out. He's going to kamikaze me. It's your turn now. He
Okay.
activates. Right off the bat, compulsory move.
And it has to be this range?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the compulsory move has to be full speed.
So, quick question.
Yep.
If I get to this point, can I still move?
In Basement Legion, we 100% allow it. I actually don't know what the real rules are, but we totally allow
I mean,
it.
it's on a hinge.
Yeah, we're totally cool with that.
He's still in my arc, though, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I am kamikazeing you.
Yeah, of course. Aim and shoot, or just shoot and then move?
We're going to aim and shoot this time.
Cool.
All right.
Do
so
it.
That's...
So it'll just
One
be
of
one
each.
of each. You got it.
All right. And then I can reroll just the 1.
That's right. Okay, not bad, but here's where it kind of sucks.
Mhm.
You're now only impact 1 because your other boy died.
Right.
So I'm armored. You impact, and then I ignore anything that's not a crit. So you did get 1 more hit on me. For funsies, let's pretend you rolled 2 because I want to illustrate one more thing.
Mm-hmm.
You rolled 2 crits, and oh, lo and behold, just like always, he failed. He's now at 4 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Most armored vehicles, well, maybe not all right now, all, but your guys don't, but most vehicles have a damage threshold. As soon as I take 4 damage, it takes 6 damage to destroy him, but at 4 damage, something bad happens.
Right.
And I roll this die. I just happen to remember what all these are. Oops. Roll it over here. Okay. On a blank,
Mm-hmm.
I have to spend 2 actions to move.
Okay.
On a shield,
Mhm.
at the start of my turn, I roll a white die, and if I roll a blank, he only gets 1 action, because everything's like failing and exploding. If I roll a surge, you get to pick one of his weapons to be destroyed,
Ooh.
which is basically he loses his big gun.
Does he have a secondary?
He does.
Like a holdout or
It's
something?
awful. Yeah, it's 2 white dice, but just like yours, this one's fixed front, but the pistol he can shoot everywhere.
Right.
That's pretty much the game. The final thing I'll teach you is now the way we determine initiative. I gotta get my cards out for Luke. So at the start of each round, and there's always 6 rounds, no more, no less. Always 6 rounds. And at the start of a round, you pick a card to play. And we play them both face down and then reveal them at the same time.
Okay.
Those cards are going to allow you to hand out orders. Any orders you don't hand out go into your bag.
Okay.
So let me give you an example.
Mhm.
Let's pretend this is all that's left. Luke, that ATRT, and these guys right here. And then I play, just for an example, I play push.
Mhm.
Okay. So 2 things to know about this. Number 1, if it has any game text, it'll be down here. This one doesn't. It's one of the generic ones.
Okay.
But this has 2 units. So I pick a commander. In this case, obviously Luke. My commander gets to give orders to 2 units. And what that means is I get to give face-up tokens to that unit. So there's my 2 units.
Mhm.
Then the rest of the tokens go into my bag for my surviving units. So in this case, it's only Luke. But like if I had another trooper over here, I would put troopers and Luke into my bag.
Mhm.
And now on my turn, so let me tell you what these mean. Whoever had the fewest dots
Mhm.
has the initiative for that turn, which means they have to allocate orders first, but then they also get to activate first.
Right.
So let's pretend you played a 3-cost one. So you got some more stuff going on, but I get to go first. I now get to say I can either activate one of my guys with a face-up order or go to the bag.
Right.
In a bigger game, this has a little bit more impact because you've got like 8 or 9 units, and so you've got like 3 with orders, the rest are in the bag, you don't really know what you might pull. It'll be a little less impactful in this learning game, but that is technically how that works. That's pretty much it.
Makes sense.
Want to give it a go?
Yeah.
Let's play. And again, we're here to have fun, so you just ask any questions, takesy backsy, we can even pretend on some die rolls, whatever makes it cool. So, let's do this.
Do you want to take these tokens back, or should I just hold them?
You just hang on, make your own little pile over there if you want. So our objective is pure and simple. Kill each other in the harshest way imaginable. There's a 4th thing for you. Oops. Yeah, we're good. So, you get to deploy at distance 1. And we'll just alternate deployment. I have more dudes than you, so I'll just go first.
Right.
When you actually play the game, there is a whole, like, almost a bidding process where whoever has the fewest points gets to decide, I want to be blue player versus red player. And there's advantages to both. There's a really cool sort of mini game at the start to determine what the battlefield looks like, and we take turns eliminating things to try to make it more beneficial to our army.
Cool.
So it's really cool. But anyways, again, we're skipping all that. So I'll deploy first, and just to... Oh, we didn't really talk about woods. They're light cover. They do not slow down infantry. They will slow down this walker, and really should not fly the speeders into it. They can fly over it, but I think ending in it can cause them damage. I'm always really fuzzy on those rules, so just don't fly them in there. But it does provide light cover for infantry, and just like these, if I'm touching it, if my dudes are in it, I don't suffer the effects if it's shooting out.
Okay.
Got it? Alright, so I'll go first. We are going to lay down big squad right here at within range 1, which does let me start touching this. You should be able to start touching yours too. If you can't, go ahead and just scooch them back. We're just playing a funsy little one here. And here is blue squad all deployed. Now your turn to deploy. Thank you guys for hanging out tonight. Really appreciate it. Bruno, you got to send some pictures of your finished stuff when you get there. I'm so excited to have the Fleet Troopers and Leia done.
Do you have the Fleet Troopers done? Or they're going to be done?
No, I just got them in the mail. Haven't even started assembling them yet.
Alright.
Okay, so over to me. We are going to put... Yeah, we got a sneaky little squad right over here. And sneaky squad's going to come around this building. Line of sight is pretty much common sense. If you can see my dudes, you can shoot at them. If you can't, you can't. If you can see any part of them, but it's obstructed, you can take the shot, but they'll get whatever benefit of cover.
Right, but these guys can't hit those guys.
Those guys cannot hit those guys, and vice versa.
Right, okay.
All right, let's pop this ATRT over here. Now, he does slow down in those woods, but he kind of likes them because he wants to be a pillbox and just go chill in the woods, you know? So he's going to start right there.
Okay.
How you doing over there, puppy dog? Yeah, you hearing the music in your head?
A little bit.
I do too.
Bit.
When we don't stream, I play the Shadows of the Empire soundtrack. Just so you know, 1 is technically to hear, not the nubbin.
Oh, okay.
You have 1 that doesn't have a nub. And the one without the nub is a little easier to use.
Right.
Okay, over to me. We're going to put short squad here. Little shorty boys. I'm going to be ready to flank.
Funny story. You're going to get taken off Twitch for that.
I know. I should be good on that one. Did you hear the Shadows of the Empire theme? Oh, you haven't seen Solo yet. They play some parts from Shadows of the Empire, and it's really cool.
Nice.
Some Star Wars deep cuts there. Yeah,
Commander.
that's the commander.
Yeah.
Yep. Usually you can tell because they're the dude
Pointing.
Yeah.
All right.
Okie dokie. So now you look through your cards and pick one to give as an order. In general, I don't know. Maybe that's not entirely true. A lot of times people give standing orders on the top of the round because nobody's in range. If you look at standing orders, it's a 4, but the card comes back to your hand. That's not always true, especially now. There's things like the ATST or Leia who can like bombard things at long distance. But I always saw in the learning game, everyone kind of gave that standing order, so you can kind of wait and see. So
yeah,
I would say that's probably a pretty good one to do.
You'll never guess what I put down.
Standing orders. Okay.
Oh.
So what happens in a tie
Yeah.
is whoever technically has the, I think it's called the first player token or the initiative token or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody has a little thing that we pass back and forth. Oh, I know what it is. It's the round counter. Whoever has that rolls a red die, and on a shield, they have what's called priority. I think I called it initiative. It's priority.
Mm-hmm.
And on a blank or a surge, you get priority. So, you have priority, which means you allocate one of your tokens now. It's got to be within range 3 of your commander, and the rest go into the bag.
Okay. All right. Vehicle.
Yep.
Hero.
Yep.
For lack of a better term.
Yep, leader.
All right.
The other one is support for vehicles. Cool. Going with those guys. I like it. I think I will go with my ATRT. So that means my other 4 go into the bag. You had priority, so you get to activate first.
All right. They have 1.
Yeah, big, nasty speed 1 move.
Oh, yeah. I'm coming for you. Slowly but surely.
Yep. And if you're going to do a double move, then
Yeah.
you don't even have to move the other guys until you're done.
To be honest, I forgot about the double.
Yeah, no problem. So it might be beneficial to hang out in that cover, or you can keep rocking and rolling.
Oh.
Just you. One thing you are allowed to check at any time is range.
Mm-hmm.
You're not allowed to use the movement template at any time. Only for a unit who's activated.
Okay.
But you are allowed to be like, well, let's see, if I move there, am I going to be in range of those guys? And you're not, so I would have to move out to shoot you.
So we're just going to go for it. So I can check your range?
You can check any range, anywhere.
Does this count as in the forest if I'm on the pad?
So, because it won't slow you down, if you can get more than half of the dudes in that forest, then yes. If when I shoot at you, more than half or more of the squad is covered by forest, then yes, you'll get the benefit of it.
Okay.
It might be and your leader's in it, but I don't think so.
That's fine. I was just wondering. I wasn't actually going to go for it.
You should. Use the cover, because remember, where they actually are doesn't really matter. Not really. Because range is checked from your leader. Now, they do have to be within this of
Right.
them. Or at, not within. So any part of.
Right. That's at the tree.
I'm pretty sure that's right, that if you get, like, a bunch of the dudes in there, you will get the benefit of it.
Right. So if we're going to do that, I'll just move him right there. All right?
Let's see. Well, I'll just go to the bag. Troopers, imagine that. We're gonna go with these old flanky boys over here, and we're gonna run them hard. So what we're gonna do with them is we're gonna come like this. See if we can't stay kind of with that thing between us and the enemy for a while, and we're gonna take a dodge token because rebels like having dodge tokens. Keeps them alive.
So in lieu of another move.
Yep, my second action is going to be a dodge. And then what you do, by the way, is you put this near them face down to show that they've activated.
Okay.
And it is now back to you, sir.
Well, they take a compulsory move.
Oh, is that what you drew from the baggie?
Yeah. Wait, what? Oh, wait. No.
Yep, you
you're
gotta
right.
go to the bag.
Yeah, that's right.
See what you get.
I can't just pick willy-nilly.
No, you can't just pick. That's half the fun.
All right.
Did you get him?
Now I got Vader.
Now you got Vader.
Okay. That definitely changes my strategy.
Yeah, I bet. Oh, he's a slow boy.
Yeah.
He ain't no 2.
Oh,
He's
no,
a
no.
1.
That's 2. That's right.
He's got the slow, inexorable march towards doom.
It's all right. He's definitely going for cover.
Yep. And then you can do a partial move. If he does a second move, you can move him up just so long as he's still touching the cover.
Can I not take a second action?
You do not. Well, if you're not going to take a second action, at least dodge or something.
Okay.
So that if anyone shoots at him, he gets that dodge.
I'll take a dodge then.
Cool. Yeah, let's chuck you. You're probably not going to need more than 2. There you are, sir. And technically, right now, because he did a move, he can also do an attack, but there's nobody he can throw his saber at yet. All right, over to me. Oh, you know what? I never put Luke out. I'm an idiot. We'll just pretend he was like right here. Is that all right?
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff. Okay, drawing. I got troops, and we're gonna go with these guys, and they are going to come rushing up to right here. We're gonna check our line of sight. I think I got you, but I think it's heavy cover because this is kind of a separate. I don't know. I guess we would have needed to declare that because he is touching it. So, you know what it said we're gonna do? Just dodge. Just a dodgy boy. I have a feeling they're gonna get flamethrower. Okay, over to you.
Now I can move them.
Hey man, yeah, we're just doing a new player game here. So playing, I started with the 400 point, but then I was like, I just want to add a little bit more in. So just teaching Derek here how to play.
So that's the compulsory move.
Yeah, and now you can check your range before you decide what else you do.
They are range
3.
Right, 3.
And you do check it from the commander. Oh yeah, you got me.
Okay.
And here's where we look at the cover and say, yeah, these guys definitely have heavy cover because essentially you go kind of from yours, to my dudes, and definitely more than half of them are getting obscured by that.
Right.
Right? Or half or more.
Mm-hmm.
So I have heavy cover.
Okay. They also have dodge, right?
I do have a dodge.
All right. So
you gonna do shoot and
I'm gonna
else?
shoot and then move.
Shoot and then move. Cool. Love it. Here it comes, boys.
But with the way I've been rolling so far.
Well, we'll see how it goes. You never know. Beginner's luck. That's not bad. You did not do an aim, so I will spin my dodge.
Okay.
Now, when you spin a dodge, it essentially gets rid of 1.
Okay.
And I have heavy cover.
Right.
So I get rid of 2 more.
Right.
So 1 punches through on those boys. And he saves it.
Nice.
But they get a cover, a point of suppression. And then, because I'm nimble, my dodge comes back to me.
Okay. Is that for all the rebel units?
It's the rebel troops.
Okay.
So the regular dudes. Luke doesn't have that.
Right.
The new fleet troopers don't have that.
Alright, so we're gonna just book it this way.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Just trail along the front there. Okay, over to me. I am gonna go to the bag and hope. And I got Luke, which I honestly did not really want to do. Because I don't want Luke to just get gunned down. On the other hand, if Luke's good at anything, it's killing. So he's gonna rush out to here. And then, you know what? He's gonna take his little blaster. He's gonna shoot at those bikes.
All right.
We're gonna see if we can't kill the bike. So his blaster is 2 red, but he has Pierce 2.
Okay.
Pierce 2 means you ignore the first 2 saves you roll. So essentially, every hit I get right here goes to damage. But you do have cover because you're a speeder. He does surge into a crit.
Okay.
Light cover takes 1 away, which means technically you now roll a die. But even if you saved it, Pierce punches it. So you take 1 damage.
Okay.
And again, it goes on the non-commander first. That's Luke.
All right, I am out of tokens.
All out.
Yeah.
What about those troopers back there?
No, I am not out of tokens.
Yeah, you should have
There's
one
one
more.
in here. I should have just checked the bag.
Should have
first.
1 more.
Yeah.
And don't forget, you got range 4 on that DLT, which
Yeah.
would hit Luke or these guys. Range 4 is big.
What's this bad
Big
boy
diff.
here? Now you said that does not mean that's only with
It's
the.
only for him, right?
Okay.
So only he could make that.
All right. Can I shoot through my own people?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Ground units actually do cause cover, but speeders don't.
Okay. So yeah, he's.
You gotta shoot at Luke, huh?
Oh yeah.
Two reds.
2 reds.
And do I have any cover? I don't have any cover there.
You took all my hit dice.
I've probably stolen a ton of die here. I'll throw you any extras.
There you go.
That's pretty good.
That's better.
Seems good. And Luke does have a red defense die. Okay. So Luke saves. He does not have a defensive surge, so he actually takes 2 points of damage. That is not a great way to start. For the heroes, because they have a bunch of health, I put him on the cards.
Yeah.
You're okay with that?
That's fine.
He only has 6 health, so that hurt. He just,
Alright, and...
He got real whiny about it.
Of course he did. Bitching about the Tashi station. I like his heavy cover, so I'm going to take a dodge for them, too.
Cool. I really had all the dice, man. Okay, over to me. What do I have left? I've got 1 unit of troops in the bag, and then I've also got this ATRT. I'm going to go with the ATRT. And he would be giving you extra cover, so he's going to go ahead and move into the woods. He's slowing down to speed 1 to get into those woods. And he's going to light those speeder boys up.
He doesn't have to. He can just hang out.
That's a really good point, but I think he still will. So he is going to roll 5 black dice from his rotary cannon at you.
No.
And did pretty good. He surges into crits. You have light cover because you're a speeder, so you always have that light cover. So 3 hits coming through on those boys.
All right.
Ooh, saved 1,
right.
Which means the other guy
is gone.
Yep, he did.
You were not kidding about
I was not
losing
kidding.
people.
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah.
And then finally, it's me because I've got 1 more unit than you do. These rebel troopers, here's the deal. They could probably put a hurt on that speeder, but that wouldn't make for as fun of a game. I don't want that speeder zipping around. So they're going to rush out. Because, we're just here to play some Basement Legion. And again, I'm doing a double move, so I'm not even going to bother kind of with everybody else.
Right.
So these guys are going to come rushing out here. Yeah, they're dead. I would never do this if this were, for all the marbles, but it's not for any marbles. So, in fact, we're going to do it just for funsies. They do also have grenades, so they could rush up and toss some grenades. So, it's not entirely stupid. Okay, that's the end of the round. So what happens now, technically Luke got a point of suppression because you shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
Vader kind of ignores it, but Luke doesn't.
Okay.
Now, at the end of the round, all unspent tokens come up. And then also 1 suppression comes off of each unit. So you kind of got to pile it up if you want it to have a real effect.
Right.
I'm within 3 of everybody. Vader probably is too. And with that, what we do is click this to turn 2. Hand it to the next player, and choose our new cards. Take time and read Vader's.
Is this part of the set?
Yep.
Cool. You can tell how much I've opened mine.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta get in there and get painting. So take a look at your cards, because they've got some good stuff. Now, if a card says troopers, Vader counts as a trooper. So don't think that only means snow or stormtroopers. It's basically any model with a small base.
Okay.
You ready?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I did. My ally is the Force.
I did Master of Evil.
Master of Evil, Darth.
It's too good to not play.
So mine has 2 pips, which means I get priority.
Okay.
Which means I now allocate my tokens. And mine says 2 troopers.
Do we take them all back?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it says when a friendly trooper unit is issued an order, it gains a dodge token. So I'm giving it out to Blue Squad, out on point, and you see they get a dodge. And I'm also going to give one to Luke Skywalker, who also gets a dodge. So those are my 2 allocations. My other remaining ones go into the bag.
Okay.
And we then go to you.
All right. So that's...
And that card is now spent. The other one comes back into your hand.
Right.
That card is done for the rest of the game.
Okay. So that's when Vader is issued an order, he gains 1 dodge token. When Vader activates, each enemy trooper or unit at range 1 or 2 of them gains 3 suppression tokens. Alright, so I get to choose who to activate first?
Yeah, because it's Darth Vader and 2 units. So you're right now just giving tokens. So Darth Vader gets his token, and then 2 units get tokens.
Okay. Well, we're going to give them a token, and we're going to get him the hell out of dodge.
Yeah, that's pretty solid choice there. And now I had priority, so I get to activate first.
And they are not within 2 of Vader.
Oh,
correct?
I think they will be, but that says when he activates.
Oh, right, okay.
So he's gotten his order.
Okay.
I am going to go with these guys right here.
Mm-hmm.
And we, sir, are going to hopefully teach you a somewhat important tactic about suppression and thus action economy. I'm going to split my fire.
Okay.
I'm going to fire all of my A280s at your snow troopers. I'm going to fire my Z6, since it's a different weapon, I can split fire at your stormtroopers.
Okay.
I'm going to aim, and then I'm going to fire.
Okay.
And now when you aim, you can only spend it once, so you have to completely resolve one attack before moving on to the next. So I'm going to start with the old pray and spray, just shooting at those stormtroopers back behind the barricade. I like that, so I'm not going to spend my aim token. So you're in heavy cover, which negates those 2.
Right. But I
pushes 1 through.
Right.
Pushes 1 through on Orange Squad. And you roll 1 save. They have a red die on saves. Red die. They save, but a suppression. And now I'll resolve the A280 shots, which are 5 black dice, and they're shooting at the snow troopers who are in light cover.
Okay.
And I did aim, so I'm going to spend my aim token to reroll 2. And I do not surge offensively. So I got 2 hits. Light cover eats 1. So 1 pushes through.
And they have a red die.
They do, yeah. Your guys have a little bit better defense with the armor. You save it, but get a suppression.
Right.
So I'm hoping those suppressions can save my bacon. Because now they're 1 less action. But they do get a rally to try to get rid of it.
Right.
So now it's your turn.
Okay. Refresh my memory.
Yep.
So these three already have their tokens activated.
So they can, which means you can activate them now. Or you can go to the bag, which effectively means you can activate those stormtroopers.
Right.
So yeah, you flip it, and that means they're activating.
Okay. So I'm gonna issue him an order.
You've already issued him an order. You're gonna activate.
Activate.
No worries.
Okay.
Here he comes.
Range 1.
Only a master of evil, Darth. Okay, and second action. He could right now throw his lightsaber.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna go for.
Or he could move again and then attack.
No,
or he can also dodge, because remember he got that dodge from something else.
Right.
So he can now do the action of dodge.
So he can take another dodge token?
Mm-hmm. Yep, because he hasn't done the dodge action yet. But he gets a free attack after moving. That's his special thing, Relentless.
Right.
So this is before you even have to make up your mind about what to do for your second attack.
I can either move or take a dodge, but I'm attacking no matter what.
You're attacking right now because you just moved. Yep.
Okay.
So if he chucks his lightsaber, it's only range 2, so he could chuck it. Oh, by the way, doesn't he, when he activates, hand out a boatload of suppression?
Yes.
3 suppression, right?
Yes.
So those boys have 3 suppression on them right now. Just, oh my god, here he comes. Oh god. So this master of evil is about to throw his lightsaber at those boys.
Right.
Now this is free, so it's going to be 3 red dice.
3. Two crits.
All right, well that's good because I do still technically get cover from this, but in that case, nothing. He has Pierce 3, so I'm not even going to roll it. Just 2 guys die.
All right.
And this was a ranged attack. By the way, you don't get suppression for melee attacks, only ranged attacks.
Okay.
But that was a ranged attack, so the suppression is mounting on those guys. Oh, yeah. Also, I could not spend a dodge to get rid of a crit. Dodges can only get rid of regular hits, so I couldn't even spend that.
Okay.
And now Vader has one action left, because Relentless is a free thing he gets to do after moving.
Do I move him again, or do I just take another dodge? I think we're just going to go for a second dodge.
Yeah, it's pretty solid to have the dodges kind of built up on him.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, in that case, I am going to go with... I'm going to pull from the bag. I'm going to see what I get. I'm going to let luck be a lady. Okay. I pulled troopers, which I half expected. I'm going to go with these troopers, and they are going to move up into here. And the way we normally play this, like, if you're just in this, it's heavy cover. Actually, you know, we're gonna hang back a little bit. No reason to get all flamey about it. We play it as heavy cover, right? Kind of inside there, so they've got line of sight there as long as you can see something that you can. And they're gonna shoot at those snow troopers, man. So I have 5 black dice and 6 white dice from that Z6. So we're just lighting up the snow troopers as best we possibly can. I do not surge offensively, so... And you are in light cover, so that eliminates that. So I effectively got 3 hits on those guys.
All right.
I'll take that. Not bad. 3 hits. Ooh, red dice. Actually, that wasn't a terrible roll, but all your guys defend on red dice, except for your speeders.
Right. Even better.
Yeah, you save 2, because you don't surge defensively. So 1 guy dies. Really not so bad, considering 2 units have shot at them. You've lost 2 guys. But they do get a second suppression there. And back to you, sir.
All right. Oh, wait. He's already been activated.
Yep. How's the dice cam working out for everybody? Is that pretty legible? I can actually zoom it in a little bit. So I shall.
We're just going to go for it here.
Dude, you got to. This is Basement Legion.
Yeah.
You're here to learn. The way you learn is by going for it.
So that's the compulsory move.
Oh, here they come.
This is the move where he dies.
Well, not if he activates first, because then he can just zip right behind me.
True.
Those guys have already activated. So I do have heavy cover.
Okay.
Right, because the way you're looking at it there.
Right.
1 die of each color on me.
Right.
You do surge into a hit, which is pretty good. Heavy cover gets rid of 2 of those, so you're left with the crit.
Right.
I'm making 1 save. Oh, I passed. It's pretty rare that rebels survive hits.
Right.
So they do get a point of suppression.
All right.
And with that, I'll go back to the bag. See what we can find. Let's see what we can do here. Boom. I got my ATRT. He's going to do it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to happen.
He's going to light up Vader. So he is going to aim and then fire. Here we go. Aiming and firing at Vader. Not bad, not bad. I love those ATRTs, man. Okay.
Right about now, I don't.
Into a crit. Now, spin to dodge.
Yes. No.
Because that will A, turn you into a surge, and B, get rid of one of these.
Right.
So you're left with 4 hits coming on Vader.
Okay.
He does roll red.
Yeah.
And he has surges, and every surge he gets, he deflects that bolt right back at me.
Right. So 0.
Okay. Got 2 damage on Vader. Yeah. I usually just keep that on the card, like I was saying.
Yeah.
So Vader took some hits from the ATRT, but less than he would have without that dodge, and still has a dodge left. And with that, sir, it is over to you.
Now you've got that stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I knew what that was going to be. They slow down going over this, correct?
They do. They got a speed 1.
Alright.
Now, are they suppressed? So first roll to rally.
Right.
Roll a white die. Oh, they rally. So they're going to get 2 actions.
Alright. So... When it's like this, do I just, do it from as close to the base as possible?
Yep.
Alright. And then... This is 2, correct?
That is 2. Oh, yeah. Get into position.
That will do it. You gotta paint these walls.
I know. I really do. It's like the last thing I want to do, you know? The priority for painting barricades just suck. You know what I might
It's
do?
not like you don't have a huge backlog to paint.
Yeah, exactly. I might seriously just spray them dark gray and wash them and be done.
Yeah.
I mean, anything would look better than unpainted, but...
I mean, even unpainted with these,
they don't
look
that
pretty
bad.
good.
That's honestly why I just haven't even bothered yet.
You could probably just wash them.
Yeah.
Honestly.
You know what? I might do that.
Because they're already
I
gray.
might just do that. It's close enough, right? All right, I'm going to go to the bag, which should get me those troops over there.
Okay.
I'm going to do Luke last. These troop boys, it's fun when you're playing with, like, 9. You're like, I don't know what I could draw next.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes it's really, really quite hectic. These guys are going to move. Doesn't look like you got much else shooting at me. You know what? Just for funsies, we're going to see if we can't get around that cover. Oh, wait, they don't have the Z6. Oh, well, whatever. And then we kind of have to eyeball it. He should be on the board. Of course, we have to eyeball it. Yeah, I think I've got more than half outside of cover there. So I think I got around the cover. So they'll move and shoot.
Around my cover?
Yes.
Okay.
Because, see, you basically take a look.
Right.
And see how he's like...
Yeah.
There's like 4 of them at least who aren't even remotely obstructed by it. But I don't have the... I don't have the Ma 6. I do not surge offensively, so enjoy your 1 hit.
All right.
That is a point of suppression. Wow, they managed to snipe one.
Damn.
I heard a Wilhelm scream.
Yeah, you did. Hey, etiquette.
Yep.
In front, behind, doesn't matter.
I try to put it where it's visible to everybody, so I'll usually go in front,
Okay.
but... Oh, no, for that,
Yeah.
when you take a wound, you just lose a dude.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
For them, since
Forgot
their
about that.
health is just 1.
Yeah. So many choices to
Snow
make.
troopers.
All right.
My question is, are they going to get flamethrower range? So first, try to rally them right off the bat. If you rally them, then you're flamethrowering this turn.
Is it?
It's 1 per.
1 per. Okay.
If you don't rally them, I don't know if they'll. Oh, they rallied! Oh, they rallied! Oh boy! Oh boy!
Wait. They don't defensively search.
It doesn't matter when you're rallying.
Oh.
It's just any paint gets rid of it.
Right.
It's like a special rule.
Okay. So, no suppression.
No suppression.
Yeah.
And it's speed 1. Speed 1.
Speed 1. Do I get slowed down at all coming out of this?
You do not. Your unit leader wasn't there. Yeah, you don't quite. You're a little shy. You might be able to swing it. Let me see. You might have flame. You have flamethrower range to him, but he's literally the only dude that could die by it. I think.
Well, actually, I have the blast, so doesn't that ignore the cover?
It does. If you move again, you got everybody.
Okay. But I can't.
Yeah, you get a free attack. Remember, they get that steady rule. They're kind of just like
that's right.
Vader. Yeah,
Well,
that's where their speed matters a little less.
Right.
So yeah, they just walk up and.
Well, we'll just put him in the front then.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right.
this is gonna be ugly. So you are rolling 4 white dice, and because that thing is spray, you get 1 per dude, so 4 black dice, and no cover applies. Period.
Right.
So this should be fine.
So I can use blast and spray at the same time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, you use all the keywords that are applied to the dice pool.
Oof.
Wow. You could have rolled better. So you got 3 in.
Yeah.
I'm going to dodge,
right.
so that gets rid of 1.
Uh-huh.
I'm now saving against 2. Which is 2 dead guys. Okay, well there's that. And another suppression. Because that was a ranged attack. So they are dying on suppression.
You knew what was coming.
Yeah. And all I've got left is Mr. Skywalker himself. And he's going to see if he can get in there. I don't think he quite can. I don't think he can quite get the distance he needs to. But he's coming for you. He might. He might. He might. If I could touch your base, we're engaged. Oh, yeah, he's got it. He's got it. You ready to see a Jedi in action? So the way engagement works is when you rush in like that, you then basically push everyone up to unengaged. So you've kind of got to do this. If there were more units, then you kind of pair them off a little bit more, but basically Luke runs in.
Right.
And now Luke gets a free attack, because kind of like Vader, his is a little less awesome because he can't do the move and shoot for free, but he does get charge. After you perform a move action, you may perform a free melee attack. So he does get to come in and swing. Wow, pretty good roll. 5 hits on those snowtroopers.
Okay. Do I have defense against that
at
all?
You still do. He is Pierce 2, so not quite as nasty as Vader, but he does pierce.
Do you have an extra?
You're rolling red dice.
Every time.
Yep.
These are 5?
Yes, sir. Okay. And with Pierce 2, that kills those guys outright.
All of them?
Yep.
Boo!
That's Jedi for you in this game. Vader does the same thing. And now you know.
I have been too conservative with Vader.
Oh, they're over there, I think. Oh, no, you're right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Doesn't really matter, yeah. So those guys, long dead. That's it for the turn, man.
All right.
We're now into turn 3. So you hand me the button. Now everyone lifts 1 point of suppression.
I managed to get rid of all of mine.
Yeah, you really did. They have 1 now from when I came.
Oh, that's right.
But it's gone now.
Right.
So I'm gonna just tell you about a nasty card that I'm actually just not gonna play on you because there's no point in hammering this point home. There is a card out there called Son of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Luke gets to attack immediately again after attacking. So a lot of times, if you start a round with Luke this close to Vader, Luke has a pretty good chance of killing Vader. It's not a guarantee, but it's a pretty good chance. I'm not going to play it on you because it's like a nearly guaranteed Vader death.
Right.
In a bigger game, it's much easier to be like, yeah, but Luke's not going to get this off on. This was kind of a problem of the smaller games that Luke can just be like, oh, hey, what's up, Dad? So I'm just not going to play that for you. But know that is a very distinct possibility, and it is Luke's like premier card.
Okay.
So...
I'm liking the grimacy face he has on that card.
Yeah, I know, right? That's not true. That's impossible. Okay, so I am going to play Return of the Jedi.
Push.
All right. So Return of the Jedi makes me go second, so you're going to be up first.
So, again, remind me, I can just pick at this point?
Any 2, because it says 2 units on there.
Right.
So any 2 you want.
He needs to move.
Yep, that's a good move.
For the love of God, he needs to move. Vader's gonna go.
Okay, and mine is Luke Skywalker and 2 units. So we'll go here. And you know what? I think I'm actually out of command range on those guys. I think Luke is too far to give them an order. So if you can get 2 suppression on them, they're honest, but that'll be a tall order. That'll be the first order. I'm going to put it right here.
Was that pun?
Yeah, that was bad.
Okay, just making sure.
And by the way, you knew. You pulled their command token out for the snow troopers. So you got looped. But with that, it is your turn. Oh, and by the way, the turn of the Jedi is when Luke is issued an order.
Mm-hmm.
Each friendly unit at range 1 to 3 removes 1 suppression token.
Okay.
So those guys are looking a little less horrified of everything that's going on right now.
All right.
Over to you.
Okay. We're gonna move him out of the way there.
So here's a fun thing for you. If you end a compulsory move, only a compulsory move, in the middle of a unit, they A, get dispersed, and B, get a point of suppression.
I was actually going to ask you what happens.
Yep. I'm just going to eyeball it a little bit here.
You knew where I was going.
You can't purposely end on them. It's only in the compulsory move.
Okay.
But ground units can. Like my ATRT can just walk through stuff and give suppression.
Okay.
Speeders can't.
But I mean,
so my guys have a point of suppression.
With the compulsory move, though, I get to choose where he goes still.
You do still get to choose where he goes. It's just that normally on a regular move, you can't end on them.
Okay.
So there's your compulsory move. I assume that's what you're trying to do.
Yes.
And now what you going to do? Well, keep moving.
Yeah. I can't really...
You want to hook around? I'll do it for you if you want.
If you could hook me around.
You want to hook around and keep rolling?
Yeah, we're going to try
I don't think you're going to have any shots here. You might have a shot on that ATRT. But these guys are going to be right behind you. Yeah, let's see. If you do this, that'll probably give you a shot on him if you're in range. Oh, yeah, easy. Easy range 3. So there's a shot on him if you want to take that.
Yes, I do.
And then these guys were pushed around.
Nothing.
Awful.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah, welcome. You got Star Wars. Let's see. I'll go with...
At least I'm rolling with plot.
Yeah, it's working. I'll go with these poor sobs right here.
Okay.
Before they meet a horrible doom. So they have 3, so I'm rolling 3 white dice to try to rally them. Hey, they rallied 2. They're still suppressed, but they're looking a lot better than they were. And they are going to, they only get 1 action, they're going to shoot at Vader.
Okay.
Because I'm going to fire 6 white dice and 1 black die. It's got the old Z6. The old rotary. I got 2 hits on Vader. Vader is red die defense.
Just gonna put those away.
Yep. Oh man, your dice are.
Yeah.
They've been pretty good. If
this is how I roll.
They've been pretty good for me.
Yeah.
There you go. 2 more for Vader. So he's halfway down, and he's living on a prayer. It's your turn. Come kill Luke. It's your destiny.
That's happening.
Destiny.
That's happening. He's got 1, right?
Yep. So there's an upgrade that I just couldn't fit in here called Force Push.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, it's a free action. Like you just do it. It's a free thing. You exhaust the card. You can make a trooper unit make a speed 1 move.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been putting that on Vader because part of it, he's so slow that he's a little bit painful. But even if you just get to range 1, you could then be like, and pull him. You could have, where you were, made Luke make a speed 1 move towards you, then aim, and then charge.
Ooh.
Instead of having to spend 2 to move into him. But in this case, you're going to have to do your second action to move into him.
Right. And then at that point, I can't attack? I mean,
no, you get the free attack. You get that relentless.
That's right.
And by the way, Luke should have a dodge on him. Because this gives him a dodge. Alright, so you moved in and now you're swinging on Luke.
So that's 6.
6 red dice. And we are both immune to pierce because we've got the lightsaber.
Right. There we go. That's better.
That's pretty solid. Although he doesn't have any surges.
So what?
I'm saying his card.
He doesn't have surges. Okay.
So you got 4 hits on Luke. Luke will spend his dodge. That'll get rid of 1. So he's down to 3.
You're killing me.
Welcome to Star Wars. Wow. Okay. Luke was like, I know enough. He told me you killed him.
This is very similar to how I've been rolling in D&D.
Yeah. Well, I'll go with Luke, and he is going to aim and attack Vader.
Yeah.
Five hits coming on Vader. Take 3. Because he doesn't have any surges.
Right.
Ugly, dude.
He is damn near dead.
He is dang near dead. Your dice have been brutal, man.
Yeah. It's not great.
Over to you. Your activation. You got those Stormies left in the bag?
I do. That's pretty much all I have left.
Yep.
Do
Yep. Yep.
I? Oh, I guess I never put that. I mean.
Oh, yeah. No worries. Basement Legion, baby.
Um.
So you've either got some dudes in heavy cover, but who
Yeah.
are wrecked, or dudes in the open. In either case, you're looking at 5 dice. I will say, those guys haven't activated yet,
Mm-hmm.
and thus could be suppressed.
Yeah.
Because that reduces an action, or at least has a chance to reduce an action.
Yeah. No, that's the plan.
Aim and shoot.
Yes. So,
Aim gives you precise, so
Right.
you get to reroll 3 dice.
Mm-hmm. So that's 3 white ones and 2 red ones.
2 red ones, that's right. You do surge into hits, so that was 4 hits on those boys. All dead.
Yes.
And that's a Star War. The dice do add a very unstable element to this game, which is half the fun.
Yeah.
Half of what keeps it Basement Legion. I've got the ATRT left in the bag too, don't I?
Yeah, and
So-
they haven't moved.
They haven't moved. Let's go with them. See if they can rally. They do rally. Well, they're gonna aim and shoot at the old speeder. Well, yeah, they're still at full strength. They're looking at 5 black dice. Yeah. All right. Good luck, speeder. Ow. That's when you roll hot. I don't think that was a crit before. I bumped it. I don't know what it was. That speeder's probably dead.
Yeah.
So I'm down. You want to just call this one?
Yeah, what are you
I
gonna call
think,
that
I
one?
think we got you.
Yeah, I think
but
so.
I think you got the basics down.
Yeah.
Right. So really expanding into a large game isn't a whole lot different, other than, and I'll just show you that mechanic and we can wrap up. There's a really cool mechanic that you do at the start of the game. You've got 4 different kinds of cards.
Right.
Okay? And what you do is the very first thing that happens is you show your opponent, hey, here's my army list. What's your army list? Whoever has the lowest points gets to choose. I'm going to be the blue player versus the red player.
Mm-hmm.
Blue player tends to, but not always, tends to get a benefit from the missions. Red player gets the last say in what we play.
Right.
So this kind of benefits to both. And also blue player has priority at the start of the game.
Okay.
So what you do is you take the missions, and let's say you came to the table and said, you know what, I'm 1 point less, I'm going to be the blue player, I like being blue. So what we do is we orient to your table.
Okay.
And we do this. We take all the cards that we have, and we technically for a tournament like make a deck beforehand. We're gonna use all the cards as they release them just for funsies, and then you discard 1. It gets discarded, and then we lay them out starting from the top, going left over.
Mm-hmm.
So we got okay, cool. Mission is recover the supplies. The mission is intercept the transmissions, or the mission is breakthrough. Let's see what the deployment looks like. So again, discard 1. And this is where orienting towards the blue player makes sense. So these are the deployment zones.
Oh, all right.
And then discard 1 more. These are battlefield conditions. So clear conditions, hostile environment, and limited visibility. And these are going to impact the game. What we then do, once these have been drawn, starting with the blue player, you can eliminate or skip any one card that's the farthest left in its row. So you could say right now, and there is a lot of strategy here, right? So you could say, oh, you know what? My dude has an ATST, which has like crazy range. I don't want to give him clear conditions because he can have just great sight lines. And that's what I care about most. So I'm gonna say we're not doing that one. So right now, when it comes to my choice, this is the mission we're playing.
Right.
It's the leftmost. So I look at this and say, yeah, you know what? I do have that ATST, and thus I really like it when you have to march along the long edge of the board coming to me.
Right.
So I'm going to flip that.
Okay.
And then we come to you and you say, okay, yeah. I mean, we're obviously internalizing this dialogue, but you are now going to say, you know what? I can't face the bowling alley with that ATST chilling there. So you get to do that, and then the final say is mine as the red player, where I now look at this and say, I've got a lot of troops, so I don't want to do hostile environments.
Right.
So then the leftmost in each row becomes the mission combination.
Cool.
So the mission here is we're going to go try out and recover supplies. We're going to put tokens on the board, and troopers can pick them up, and you got to hold on to them until the end of the game. So you like grab them and then come get into cover and try to survive. This is the deployment, which is essentially what we just did, but on the full board. And there is limited visibility. On the first turn, range is only 2. On the second turn, range is only 3, and then after that, it lifts. So it's fog that lifts.
Right.
So this adds a really fun element to the game.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And the next release, I think, is about to be a whole new pack of cards and tokens and stuff. Right. So they're going to come out with, I don't know if they're doubling or what, the number of these things, which should be pretty exciting.
Well, I'll need you to help me convince Amy to let me buy any of this.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, man, you're always welcome to come play here.
I'm halfway there.
It's good, right?
Oh, yeah. This game's awesome.
Game.
Yeah.
And yeah, we didn't even touch on the big boy.
Yeah, I know. I was looking at that. The thing is nuts. The ATRT?
Yeah.
Those weapons you can switch out, right?
Well, I magnetized them.
Yeah, I saw someone had done that.
Little tiny jeweler's magnets. Although they actually plug pretty well kind of by default.
Yeah.
But I wanted to make mine like really easy to swap out. I also like magnetized this.
Yeah.
Although I like the look of the ATST with all the weapons, but these are technically plugs. I can pull them out because you can customize what it has on it. But I was like, I'm just going to leave it with everything.
So if you change out the weapon on that, you like legitimately change it in the game?
Yep.
It's not just an aesthetic thing?
That's right. This is the rotary cannon versus the laser cannon versus the flamethrower.
Cool.
I'm a rotary boy, though. I love the rotary cannon on that thing. I swapped out some alien heads that I got.
I thought that was different.
Yeah.
That's cool. Did you see they have... Well, did you have 2 of those?
I have 3, because I have 2 core sets, and then I bought 1 of everything else.
So the core set has the guy looking behind him.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Which is almost a cooler model. I almost wish I would have put the Moncal on him. But yeah, he's like peeking around.
No, I like him like that.
It is cool.
Yeah, no, this is awesome.
Yeah, man. I mean, once you start adding everything to the board, it gets really fun. Like, Luke is so freaking good, but the problem on a full-size board is you almost want to let Luke loose as a missile to go kill stuff.
Yeah.
But then he can't command. Like, he leaves the troops behind. But Leia, I just picked up, so you can have up to 2 commanders.
Okay, that was going to be
so I'm going to have the Wonder Twins. Luke is going to be like, let's go, boys, and he's going to be the assault force. But Leia is a very, like, supporting role. She's also, like, half his points. She, as an action, can give out 2 dodge tokens to nearby troops. So she's just like, all right, fellas, hang in there.
Right.
And then she can, like, take her shot or whatever. And Veers is essentially the same thing for the Empire.
Right.
He, instead of giving out dodge tokens, gives out aim tokens.
Right.
And so he, just a nice action economy. Like, he can be like, cool, you're aiming, and then he also gets to recover some people's suppression at the start of his turn for free. So they're like traditional commanders, whereas Luke and Vader are like, I'm coming for you.
Yeah, I'm going to murder you and also be a commander.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like Vader, but I have come to absolutely love my build with him. My build with Vader is quite expensive. It's got saber throw. It's got that force push.
Right.
Because, again, the difference is... I'll demonstrate for anyone still watching here. Let's say this is the situation right here. Okay? Vader's not going to get to them, right? With one move, he's going to get there. And with a second move, he's going to be... Well, here, let's just pretend he was like this. Because he might have actually got there. So let's pretend Vader's right here.
Right.
Okay? He is not going to get him. That's heartbreakingly close. But he's going to go 1 and 2, and
they
unfortunately...
have to be touching bases, right?
Got to be touching bases, so he won't get in there. He won't get his full melee. But if you look at Force Push, what it says, and I'll just go ahead and show you this. So Force Push has a symbol that means free action. It means you just do it. But that symbol means the card exhausts, which means you can't use it indefinitely. But again, Master of the Force, he gets to ready one at the end of the round. So it's choose an enemy trooper unit at range 1. Perform a speed 1 move with that unit, even if it's engaged. So what he does after his first move is he comes up there, and again, I'm allowed to measure, and he says, oh, you know what, though? You thought I was out of range? Get over here. I then say, yeah, your guys are going to do this. And I get to do the move. And now he does his second action.
Right.
And I've been using that to great effect with Vader. People hated him because of his low speed.
Right.
But that, plus the saber throw, plus the other one I take with him is force reflexes, which is another one that's free, but also exhaust. So there usually does come a turn where I have to pick which one I'm going to ready.
Right.
But force reflexes is a free dodge action. So I just have him like walking up the battlefield, dodging so that he can deflect, and then just be like pulling dudes into him and just rogue one.
I was gonna say you're rogue running across the board,
and it works. In the last game I played with him, he took out 3 trooper units, full strength, all by himself. No, I'm sorry, 2 trooper units and an ATRT.
I was gonna say, can you pull them too?
He can't pull them. He can't make them. But he can still, he has impact 3 and pierce 3.
So this only works on troopers.
Yeah, it specifically says on trooper units. Well, that works on Luke. He's done it to Luke. They're like, oh, Luke, get over here. Yeah, so he just comes in. He's like, as he's walking in, he's deflecting the shots with the dodges and then just killing everybody. So I've come to absolutely love Darth Vader. I weirdly don't use the vehicles very much. I think this game right now is kind of a game about the troops.
I like it with the troops. I like the small vehicle.
Yeah.
But even 2 of these, that seems really big for it.
Yeah, it is. And it's a big point sink.
Yeah.
It can be awesome. I think it's pretty good. I am not at all a fan of the speeder.
No?
It looks really neat, but I find that it just dies so easy.
You should do what, I assume you're on the subreddit for this?
Yeah, oh yeah.
You saw the one where he hit an extra and they made it crash?
That was really cool.
Yeah.
I do like the model, though, and again, this is Basement Legion, so I want to... Next game, we vowed, let's put both the ATSD and the speeder back on the board, because we had kind of gotten away from it playing, like, just a trooper-heavy game. Troopers and light vehicles, because I love those freaking speeders.
Yeah, those are fun.
If I were playing a tournament tomorrow, my list would be Vader, the way I kidded him, just like I told you, Veers, 2 units of snow troopers, because they follow Vader. They're like, yeah, we're right behind you, boss, because they're ready to just flame stuff out. Then Veers with 2 units of stormtroopers to be that kind of base of fire, and then 2 units of speeders, because those speeders can do some work, man. It's a nasty list.
Yeah.
The Rebels are nasty too, though. That Z6, I'm a huge fan of. A lot of people like do the math, like, yeah, but the expected value is only like 1.5 hits. But I'm like, yeah, but sometimes you roll like 5 hits, which makes it so worthwhile.
That's the fun of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be frustrating when you keep missing. But...
Yeah, but it just, they walk up and just... That's awesome. So that's Legion, man. All right, hey, we're going to go ahead and shut this video down. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Appreciate it, especially with absolutely no notice. We'll catch you next time, hopefully with a little bit more heads up. Thanks again for joining.